walk up there with one of those. I mean, somebody else is already going up there, but just because we're headed that way, you know? That and maybe that. We'll just set them on fire. Also, I got to allocate one of the Keelons back their good gun, because I see the legendary one in here, and I'm guessing that one of you guys, wherever the fuck you went, was in hospital, and now you don't have your gun. But yeah, we made some bit of a progress with the colony. Also, Lenza, that's a shit spot to sit in, mate. You want to go, like, sit up here, right? Because you can do some good pot shots, yeah? You sit up there. I really only need, like, 2 or 3 of yous. You guys go stand over there in front. That sounds like that popped. That sounds like turrets are active. You guys get out of the way. Don't shoot them. I might not actually need colonists to work on this. Do you guys want to... Don't blow up the turret. I don't really need to shoot this, but problem solved. And the things are on fire. Also, Lenza wasn't required. You guys go back home. Go back home. Alright. It's over. Fucking hell, the gun's fantastic. I can see why I don't use it in my personal colony. I really get why this is deadly as fuck, because all I'd get is somebody on like a murderous rage and somebody turn around and be like, bet, and just fucking floor them, right? And also that's on fire on water, so how about you extinguish that fire? Yeah. Actually, that lens is a lot closer. There we go. Okay, so the progress that we've made so far is we've made this kind of like corridor thing, right? And I'm putting down flooring at the moment. But we've got all these little traps. Got all these little traps in here. Like so, right? And then we've got all the turrets for the more or less are online. So that's helping. And then we've got this like, this autocannon thing here, which I don't know what to do with yet, but I'll figure that shit out. And we've got 5 foam popper turrets around here somewhere. I'm just gonna, honestly, I'm just gonna probably put 5 foam poppers around the place. Oh, rain will help. You can just barely see it. The rain and the fire. Are there any boomlopes to hunt? No. So yeah, we got all that happening, and we got all the traps made. Not all the traps, but you know, a lot of the traps. We're making some flooring to make this place look, you know, pretty. I had to do some stuff, some quick working with the bedrooms to accommodate for, you know, the 130 odd colonists that we now have, which I don't even know if everybody's still got a bed. Animals started to roam. I guess they popped the fence. Where did you pop the fence? There. Okay, hold on. Instead of going to wrangle the animal, do you want to haul that out of there? There you go. Okay, once it's sealed, they'll automatically put it back in. I kind of want to put this in here because I think it would be faster, but I need to put them somewhere where they can get access to water and food and shit. Additional rain, so we got heavy rain now, which is nice. It's nice that that actually does increase it, because now the fires are going out. I feel like this is a fucking Fern Gully moment. Heads up to anybody that's ever watched Fern Gully, but like, I'm just seeing like, you know, the forest is like healing and stuff, you know. I almost put Fern Gully on the list of the old movies that we're going to watch in movie night to like vote on and stuff, but I don't think I could sit through it anymore. It's so hard to watch. It was great. It's just so Australian. There's differences between like good Australian and so Australian, you know. And I found that like any kind of Australian horror is bad, and some of the Australian animated stuff is just so cringe. And then, oh, that's what they broke. And then you get like, when you actually get like Australian comedy, that shit's funny. Yeah, like Australian, like Crocodile Dundee and stuff, right? Most people will know of Crocodile Dundee, or as we say, like Croc Dundee and stuff, right? And I want this to be no human corpses and only rotten animal corpses. There we go. Technically, it could be rotted human corpses as well, I guess. Or was it only this one was fresh? Hang on. This was fresh only, and this one is rotted only. Okay, that's fine. We've got that sorted out. Yeah, there's that, and like I've got Reckless Kelly and some other stuff in the list, you know. to vote on or whatever. Like, it's not all Australian movies and shit. It's just, they're really good, you know. To play a Persona, I put on for Helldivers, briefly called Dundee McCroc. We're mucking around. Lol. I don't know. I find like I feel like whenever I go online, right, and somebody's like, oh, you're Australian, I get the weirdest conversations and stuff. Like, the amount of times I've discussed spiders and stuff, for instance, right? But like, you know, I don't come across these conversations in like a regular conversation with another Australian. And I'm like, I get that it's like partially a point of curiosity and a bit of a misawareness kind of thing, whatever. But yeah, it's always fascinating. Let's get people talking about Emu thing. Yeah, I actually added that just this week. I added that to my blocked phrases and stuff because I'm so sick of people like asking about it. I didn't get taught about it in school. I never even heard about it until I started streaming, and then it's one of like the first things I get asked as an Australian, and it's worse when I raid somebody and then they want to talk about it, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna like bow out and leave kind of thing, because it's like, I'm not here to discuss that. I don't want to discuss war, past, present, future, comical or not kind of thing, you know. And I always find it like fascinating because like I specifically have like don't discuss war as like, you know, an actual rule, and people still like bring it up, and I'm like, mate, just leave it in the past. It's so irrelevant to me, like in the existence and the time period and shit that I'm living and stuff. I know it's Australian history, but like super irrelevant. I think I moved the statues. We should have sufficient beds, and I should have enough of these proper beds. Also, I'm not getting up you or anything about it. I'm just letting you know. I'm just like, just conversationally that like, yeah, it's just one of those things. Sum it up. I get like sum it up in like 6 words. Pest control gone wrong. Oh no, I know about it. I looked it up after like the first person came in and was like, went into like full detail and stuff about it, and I'm like, what the fuck is this person on about? And yeah, then I went and actually like searched and researched it and stuff, but I'm like, it didn't get taught in school. It was not like a priority education type thing, you know, at least not where I was, you know. And yeah, I just kind of like was like, okay, well, I've managed to exist into adulthood and stuff without this information. I'm sure I can handle it. Move that up there. All right. So this room, obviously my room, and I think OG Keelon's room and stuff, across from each other and stuff, we are up here, and I think original Lenza's up here as well too. But most of the rooms I'm going to try to shove extra beds into, and I'm going to try to take the extra beds out of the hospitals, because I'm trying to build, you know, actual hospital beds, you know. I mentioned about it's vaguely in school for me is in my adult life. Yeah, I always find that funny. It's like, it's just one of those things that's like casually glossed over, you know. It's like, I feel like even the teachers and like relevant adults applicable to when we were kids and stuff didn't even care about it. And but for some reason it's something that like everyone else in the world seems to know, and it's like, why do you know this, you know? Like, it's funny, since I've started streaming, one of the weirdest things I've had change is, apart from like my health has gotten really good, is I have always corrected people about prawns and prawning and stuff like that. And nowadays when I watch a video online and somebody says like shrimp or prawn and whatever, like I feel kind of reversed about it, because I encounter so many people that initially come in with shrimp. And like, I didn't know until I started streaming, because it's like, I'm just not that curious of a person, right? I didn't know that they were the same creature. It's just called differently somewhere else. I think they're also like slightly different size-ish, but like, I don't fucking know. But yeah, that was a fascinating like learning experience. There's been so many things since streaming that I'm like, huh, you know. was it shrimp salmon? We had, yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, we had Ray here just a moment ago. And I'm like, there you are, you know. Like, where is my prawn? Here we go. Actually, I actually watched two prawn shrimp streamers as well. You and I can never fucking think of the name off the top of my head. That's of a fucking C. Hold on. You're in my list. Hold on, without clicking on anything or anyone. Where is your name? Because I can't pronounce it without my brain seeing the word. Colopus. Colopus Stolas. I know he's got a proper avatar, allegedly. Never seen it. I've never seen it. I've only seen him as like a prawn or a shrimp or whatever. Yeah, Colopus as well. Yeah. That's exactly it. So like, there's you two. I thought it was so funny the other day when I saw you, and I'm like, oh, I thought for a split second, because I obviously hadn't had the audio and I had Twitch muted and somebody had raided me to you initially. And I'm like, oh, you must have changed his avatar. And then I actually had a look, like, obviously, like, the name, and I had a look at, like, the information and stuff. And I obviously unmuted and heard you talk and stuff. And I'm like, different person. But I'm like, it's one of those, like, if I had a penny, you know, it's not unusual, but I'd have two, and I think that that's interesting, you know. I love butchering like sayings like that too. Like, I know what the saying is, I just don't want to say it properly. Also, apparently we've got a green Keelon. I thought I saw one getting around. So yeah, fancy stuff. You know what? They're gonna hate their tiny ass bedrooms. It's not prawns, they're different. I thought they were kind of similar, kind of like how like crawdads and what are they? They're not. I'm not talking about like crawfish, but yabbies. Nobody knows what the fuck a yabby is, but I thought that they were kind of like the same kind of creature, because I used to do yabby fishing on my grandparents' farm and stuff, and then somebody was like, oh, there'd be like a crawdads or something, like a little crawdads or something, which is kind of like a small, like a miniature tank little lobster looking little thing. And anyway, I learnt a lot about crustaceans in 2024 to 2025, I'll tell you that much. It was a very educational year on my part. There's so much shit I've learnt since streaming, because I'm not particularly a naturally curious person. For the most part, I just can't give a fuck. Like, it's not in like a bad way, but I'm just like, I can exist with or without knowing information, you know? It just doesn't bother me in any capacity. And then sometimes, like, I do want to know and I'll look stuff up. I miss the days of when the internet used to take you down a rabbit hole. Do you guys remember when you'd be like browsing on like YouTube, and then you'd see like this, like, I don't know, random video off to the side, and you click on that and you'd go and watch like 15 to 20 other videos of that kind and end up somewhere else in a music video, and you'd find like the greatest fucking artist or whatever. I miss that. I miss that so badly. A Weaver was asking me the other month what like the old internet was like. I miss that about the old internet. I miss, like, I don't know, getting lost in the internet and finding stuff that was actually genuinely interesting. We have a solar flare, which means no electrics for a day, which means no research, no cooking. I need to get some like non-cooking, like non-electric benches and stuff. You miss Vines? I never saw Vines. So Vines existed, right? But I didn't know that they existed. So I was kind of like probably working, or it might have been around about the time when I was like working like either full-time or 3 jobs, and I was going to gym or I was sick. So depending on like what the timeline of that is, because I got like a lot in one spot, you know. And so I didn't like really get around outside of like YouTube, and I read a lot of webcomics and stuff. So I didn't spend like a lot of additional time doing stuff. I also don't have extra granite. Mines were good 10 to 15 years ago now. I saw what vines, like Vine compilations on YouTube. That's what I used to see. So, you know, the guy that would be like, story time, you know, I saw him and all the other ones and stuff. I just didn't watch it on Vine. So when Vine disappeared, I wasn't specifically sad about it myself, because I didn't actually watch Vine. And I didn't realize at the time that what I needed to be sad about was the fact that people were going to also stop making compilations on YouTube and other platforms to share those amazing vines and stuff. So I just didn't know how it was going to like change and stuff into the future. But yeah, it kind of changed in a sucky way, you know. Also, somebody's had a birthday. Keelan has had a birthday. They have reached the biological age of 60. And they've gained the following diseases. They are frail. I read that as feral, and I'm like, yeah, all right. I understand. You know, when you hit 60 years old and you suddenly become feral, I understand. Could you imagine if that was an actual like life event thing? It's like you have a chance somewhere between 60 and 70 to just become totally feral. Anywho, do you need any materials or anything? Last drop, then I'm gonna go for rest tonight, I think. We do. We need like stuff to boost like research. So either one of those like research persona core things or whatever it is, or a fuck ton of books. Anything that can just super speed this if we could. Books would be your highest priority at the moment, because I need this to be unlocked so that we can then start acquiring all the materials tomorrow and hopefully building the spaceship tomorrow, because I'm going to need to have that built tomorrow so that we can do the big like fight and shit on Friday. So yeah, well, Nuke's apparently gone to run wild and there ain't nothing I can do about that. You also have a fucking doomsday rocket launcher on you. I literally can't like probably tame you back, love, so we're just gonna put you in the ground kindly, you know. Yeah, human revenge. I'm just gonna see this for just a second. I reckon this will help. I will check it out in a second. Did we down you fully? Hold on, go back to what you're doing. You are downed. Somebody quickly come back here and strip. Are you stripping? It's somebody else coming over to strip it. Okay, that's fine. As long as they're running around naked for the moment. We'll try to tame you later if you live. You're also having a psyche addiction, so I guess that's going on. Purchased, I never read this right, the Super Sonar cores. I read it as like Super Surfer cores, and I'm like, yay, surf's up. Anyway. You fucking know when you found an Australian when it's like beach shit. 10 simple research benches. Oh yeah. Well, let's go put these fuckers to somewhere. I don't really have somewhere like inside I can put them at this point in time, so I'm gonna just make a little thing over here. It's like an awkward sub-persona core, kind of, isn't it? It doesn't roll off the tongue very well, does it? Yeah, plus the other thing too is like I usually don't get like, whenever I get like a quest or something come up and it says, hey, you can get this persona core or super persona or whatever, I don't know what else, insert word here, core, right? I just go no and I decline those, because whatever it is, if I take it into my colony, it's going to up my wealth massively. And if it's research related, I don't really, in a Sora, I do not need research. So it's a massive waste for me to take it unless I want to hold on to it and sell it. But if I hold on to it and I sell it, I am at risk of getting attacked, you know? Awkward. I love the flip the table. I love the flip the table fucking emote thing, eh? But if you gotta go get sleep, fucking go get some sleep. You've been awake too long. Thank you for the last drop. And yeah, hopefully we'll have all this research done before we even know it. I think these are all allocated. Hiding room and insulting spree. My meatball larder in the alien colony was worth over 70k in the parts. The reason why I was getting massive raids. Well, shit. I actually briefly think I caught some of that. Unless it was like, if it was between today or yesterday, I definitely didn't. But I feel like either you mentioned it or I saw that. It was one of those, I was there. Anyway, before the mod broke the game completely. Yeah, actually I might have seen that maybe. Perhaps, or you mentioned it when you raided, I'm not sure. Gonna have some of my drink, hold on. Alright. Well, I was talking about it on stream before you raided you. Yeah, then I might have caught it then. Because, yeah, I'll usually, like, if somebody raids me and stuff, I usually will go back and see what they had to say about, like, before they raided in and stuff. Because I kind of like to know, like, did a person specifically choose to raid me? Or was it like a random miscellaneous, or had they been there before? You know, I've also like caught people saying like some really like interesting things like right before they like raid in and stuff, and I'm like, ah, okay. You know, so yeah, I like going back. I also generally when somebody raids me, like obviously in your case, I know you stream, just like Ray, I know you stream, right? But in the case of like somebody new potentially raiding me, I'll go and have a look at their channel and I'll see if they do stream or don't stream or whatever. Like normally if you get raided, they stream and shit, but you know, by the time you get to an end of the stream and you have like X people follow you and stuff, it can be kind of hard to keep up with. So I just have like, I'm just kind of like, what are you guys doing? What's your about? You know, you were going to be live, so I planned to do it before I even went live. Nice. Yeah, no, I like that sometimes myself. Like, there's some people where I'm like, I see that they're live before me, and I know they usually stream longer than me, or they are normally streaming after me, and I'm like, if they're still live, I'm gonna raid their ass, you know? And then there's other people where, like, as long as I know that I've either watched them before, or I've been, like, chatty with them before, or they're playing the same game or something, depends what it is. If I'm playing something obscure, like random game night, I normally want to raid people I know over, like, somebody I don't, because I don't know what's going on in the game, and I don't want to spoil the stuff with them or myself and my people watching me and whatever sort of stuff. Also, Nuke Dragon's still laying here. I guess because, like, they're just a wild human, they're gonna die. But fucking hell, have they got some, like, time to them. Can you do, like, tending? I could arrest them. Do I have a thing? This is nice, Sleepy, okay. Well, you ran wild. That's basically what happened. Is you ran wild, you were gonna run off with a doomsday rocket, and I decided to beat the shit out of you, steal your clothes, strip you naked, steal your gun, and now you're laying on the ground in the middle of, like, basically the recreational food hall. I guess rocking around, doing whatever wild people do, I guess. Sorry, not. Look, you were gonna steal a gun, technically. If you left the map, you'd take the gun with you and stuff. And I was kind of hoping that if you went down and you weren't hurt, we could try to tame you while you were, like, just unconscious or whatever. But you're full tilt. Somebody stabbed you. Somebody in the colony stabbed you to get you down. So you are actually actively bleeding out. So, yeah. There's nothing I can do about that. And Keelan's tried to flirt with Josh by exaggerating his way of walking. I was going to say by exaggerating the way of speaking. I don't have any more double beds, Keelan. Like, you've only got, like, a 2 maximum relationship, mate. Anyway, I'll have to take care of everyone and see you next one. No worries. I'll catch you around, Jackal. You know the drill. I'll be here tomorrow and Friday, so hopefully we get, like, somewhere with this. Hopefully I get these guys off the ground, because we nearly fucking died at the beginning of tonight, honestly. I'm American after all. Gotta get those guns. Look, that Doomsday rocket launcher, it took out a pile of animals and shit earlier, so... What? Double beds. Okay, hold on. Yeah, alright, maybe. I don't have space for couples, though. I've got, like, this area over here, which is, like, just a little research nook at the moment. It's not getting any kind of benefit. It's just additional benches if I have colonists that are available. Ideally, even if I could put, like, a couple of these down out on the ground, that would probably help too, but they've used so much power, you know? It's a good given right. I mean, you're not wrong, but yeah. I could shove a double bed technically in here. It is technically the hospital. That's in the way of the person. When I can move that, no, I won't be able to put it there either. I could put them in the barn. Let's put them in the barn. There you go. You can have a steel bed in the barn. I don't have other rooms, but you'll be warm. And technically the floor won't kind of be dirty. I like sleeping with your partner in the hospital. I mean, I just don't have rooms. I had to deconstruct 2 sets of like beds here so we could have technically 3 individuals sleep. Everybody's in like a super ward. Like, what do you even think of this room, mate? You're praying in here. Dull barracks. Colonist died, soaking wet. If I had a metric fuck ton of gold, I could turn every little one of these cubes into gold, and they'd love their rooms. They'd love it so much. Oh yeah, we got it cleaning. Nice. Well, that should help with the food poisoning, hopefully. What else? Where the fuck can I put a person? Where can I put a bed? I guess I might have to build this, but it is like kind of where I kind of decided I don't really want this spot because I'm going to end up putting the ship here, so I don't really want that there, and I don't want that up there. The hell was that? It's a golden shower log. And wave of nanites flown through and healed everyone's wounds. Actually, that might help save your person. Hold on. I don't know how much gold that's going to give us. How are you feeling about being stabbed? Apparently, they're bleeding worse now. That's more of a just they're bleeding for so long it's worse. But everybody else is feeling pretty good, I guess. That is unfortunate. I don't think that's fixing them. Let's do allow everything. I don't think I have anything dangerous on the map that they're not allowed to touch. There we go. If there's gold around, they should be able to go and find it. There's like maybe 200 odd gold dropped with that. I don't know what the difference in price between like golden shower and like the actually sending gold and stuff is. I don't know what the cost difference there is, but yeah, you'd be right. I kind of want them to sort of finish this particular like research, and I'm wondering if they'll power through it enough before like going the rest, but I think we'd have enough for this. Can you use that? I know they're halfway through it, if not more than halfway through it, but if we can get them up to a point where we can find out what kind of resources we really need. Okay, let's get that. Looks like I'm not going to be able to get all of these like consecutively one after another. Can you go use that? And it's done too. Starship reactor. I'm gonna need these. I don't know what I need them for. Like, I don't know what I need to activate to get it. Okay. Let's get next one up. This one looks so much bigger than that. I'm guessing it's got its own square there. And the power's coming on and off again. About launching the ship. Build a long-duration nuclear reactor to power the starship, but the reactors have a long startup process and it will attract raiders. Yeah. Maybe I need the cryosleep casket. I think they just used the thing to research. Cryosleep. I do think that that's part of the thing that I need. Can you use that? And there we go. Okay, now I could do the vacuum cryosleep casket. And then I've got like 2 more. I've got 1 more really big one to do. And I'm sure there was another one in here somewhere. I don't know how many you guys dropped of those. Hold on. Let's see, sent golden shower, nanites, cleaning, beds. There were 6. May have maybe used them, but that's okay. Probably could have kept one of the smaller ones on the research tile. That was like a 3,000. This is only a 2,800, right? That shouldn't take too long. And the ship engine might though. So once we get past this, we've got 2 more big ones to research, essentially. And now we have a shit ton of people that can use tables and benches. And my only problem is if I was to install these fucking things outside, they would go kaboom. So we can't do that. There we go. All right, who was the last couple? New lovers. Which one? You. Okay, so Kilon Archer. Let's get you slipping down here. Obviously must have enough beds because they're not exactly like scrambling to get to these beds. Let's see. Kelon Archer. There we go. All right, let's find out who your partner is. Brooks. Okay, Butcher. Josh Butcher. All right, let's go. Butcher. And it's suddenly about the launching the ship thing again. I'll need to read that again. Oh, fuck off with the new lovers. I barely have enough fucking bedrooms for them. Sweet Jesus. Escaping from the planet, it would be freedom at last and maybe return home, but also incredibly dangerous. A new ship category is available in the architect menu from where you may build the ship parts once appropriate technology is researched. Ships require several different parts in order to launch, including a ship reactor. Ship reactor takes 15 days to charge up and may disperse... What? And many desperate souls want off this planet. Once you begin the process, the ship reactor will emit an energy signature detectable from thousands of kilometers away. Raiders will flock to attack you in waves with an intensity you've never seen. Mechanoids are also known